The types of foods that you're eating with intermittent fasting can really make all the difference when it comes to achieving your weight loss goal, and specifically the types of carbohydrates you eat. Today I'm sharing the top 10 best carbohydrates to eat with intermittent fasting to achieve your weight loss goal in today's video. Okay guys, if you're new to my channel and you don't know who I am, my name's Autumn and I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's nutrition human performance. On my channel I dive into a lot of tips and strategies on how to achieve your weight loss goal with intermittent fasting. So if you're new here, make sure you click the button down below to subscribe so you don't miss out. Okay, let's dive into that first carbohydrate, and that's spaghetti squash. One of the main perks of intermittent fasting is that you aren't going to get as frequent spikes of that storing hormone insulin. In order to work toward that weight loss goal that you're looking for with intermittent fasting, it's important to focus on the types of carbohydrates that aren't going to really spike insulin. Spaghetti squash is a really great alternative to just regular pasta. Not only is it lower in carbohydrates, but it's also lower glycemic, which means it's going to have a much lower impact on your storing hormone insulin than the higher glycemic alternative of pasta. And insulin is our fat storing hormone, so especially if weight loss is your goal, it's really important to be aware of the types of foods that are going to really increase insulin. And spaghetti squash is a really easy to use alternative. After baking it, it literally comes out looking just like angel hair pasta. I personally love using it for like a spaghetti squash bolognese or pairing it with my Spanish meatballs, but really any type of pasta recipe you can use spaghetti squash with. Key number 2, full fat dairy products. Now this one depends on your lactose tolerance. Some people do really well with lactose, others don't. And you might even be like middle of the line where you're okay with some of that lactose milk sugar, but not a ton of it. But full fat dairy products have actually been found to help with weight loss progress. They do contain the carbohydrates of lactose, but the full fat dairy products are also going to contain protein as well as fat, both of which are really important for keeping you satiated, which essentially just means full and satisfied, and help prevent sugar cravings and snacking. Now some full fat dairy products are definitely better than others when it comes to achieving a weight loss goal. I have a whole video that dives into the details. You can check that out right here. Okay, number 3, cauliflower, or really any other cruciferous veggie, including broccoli, cabbage, bok choy, Brussels sprouts. But I specifically love cauliflower because it's really versatile to use as a swap for other really high glycemic carbohydrates like rice and white potatoes. In fact, you can make things like mashed cauliflower to swap for mashed potatoes, or one of my personal favorites, using grated cauliflower or a white rice alternative. I'll use cauliflower rice, which you can actually buy frozen for a really convenient option to make burrito bowls for literally a 15-minute recipe. Key number 4, artichoke hearts. Artichoke hearts, or just artichoke in general, are sneakily extremely high in fiber, while also not being excessively high in carbohydrates either. Whenever we're looking at the best type of carbohydrates to achieve a weight loss goal, ideally we want ones that are going to be higher in fiber and not as high in carbohydrates. This helps to make it so that there's not as big of a spike in insulin because fiber helps to slow the release. And there's a lot of ways you can have artichoke or artichoke hearts. Obviously, you can just cook it and have it on its own. I personally like to use artichoke hearts and put them on salads or in meals. Plus, fiber acts on the stretch mechanism within your stomach, which also tells your brain that you're full and satisfied and can help prevent cravings later on in the day. Okay, number 5, lentils. Now, lentils are going to be that higher fiber, lower carbohydrate legume. So lentils do have starchy carbohydrates, but it's going to be less starches while also having more protein and more fiber when compared to other beans. And protein is also incredibly important to have enough of at each meal when you're looking to achieve a weight loss goal, because it is the most satiating or the most filling macronutrient. Which, PS, I actually have 7 intermittent fasting recipes that you can get completely for free. I'll have that link down the description below so that you can get started with intermittent fasting. Key number 6, raspberries. Raspberries is one of my favorite fruits to use with intermittent fasting, especially if you're looking to achieve a weight loss goal, because it is so high in fiber and so low in sugar. So with that balance, it's not going to have that huge spike in the storing hormone insulin. And the fiber really helps to keep you more full and satiated. I love using raspberries on chia brekkie bowls or Greek yogurt bowls, or inside of a smoothie for a breakfast. Okay, number 7, zucchini. Zucchini is also a great pasta swap, just like spaghetti squash. It's very low glycemic, which means you're not going to get that huge spike in storing hormone insulin. And it's one that you can use if you're looking to make a meal a lot faster. Spaghetti squash is great because the consistency is so close to regular pasta, but if you're short on time, zucchini is actually a really great alternative. I have an incredible zucchini lasagna recipe that I'm literally drooling thinking about right now. I'm gonna have that recipe linked down the description below as well because it's a must. You guys just need to try it. Okay, number 8, tomatoes. Tomatoes are often confused as high sugar, which they are going to have more simple sugars in it, but you'd have to eat a lot of tomatoes to have that really be impactful. I love using tomatoes to make a really great flavorful sauce that's not going to be high in starches or sugars, but of course you can also use tomatoes whole like in salads. Okay, number 9, arugula, kale, and other leafy greens. Leafy greens just really don't contain enough carbohydrates to really make any impact on blood glucose levels, let alone insulin. But leafy greens do contain a ton of micronutrients and vitamins that will really support your wellness goals. And you can essentially eat as much of these leafy greens as you want, as long as you're also getting enough protein and fat to keep you satiated long term. So you know my rule, make those giant salads, make sure it's actually filling, but still get that protein and fat in too. Number 10, eggplant. Eggplant is also very low glycemic, and you can make really fun, amazing recipes with eggplant to switch up your meals. Like, of course, eggplant parmesan, using an almond flour and coconut flour alternative to make it completely in line with your weight loss and your wellness goals, or adding eggplant to various stews and sautés. And when looking to achieve a weight loss goal, especially for the long term, preventing food fatigue is crucial. And food fatigue sets in when we just eat a lot of the same types of foods over and over. We get tired of it. We don't want to eat it. So although having something like broccoli, fish, and avocado every night is great, switching up with different types of carbohydrates like eggplant is an amazing way to keep things fresh while ensuring that you can achieve your weight loss goals with intermittent fasting. In fact, if weight loss is your goal, I highly recommend you check out the 20 ways you can lose weight without counting calories with this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out with new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.